Hey everybody, Tony D. Lil Jones asleep on the couch, and I'm gonna leave her there. Uh, we'll see her another day, I swear. Um, but I got to talk about Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. Okay, I mean, you think you know the bottom has been hit with Hunter Biden and his various antics, and it just keeps going. You think the hypocrisy can't get any worse, and it just keeps going. The Biden family, when Giuliani called them the Biden crime family, I was like, ha ha ha, that's funny, but come on, it's a little much. They are criminals, in my view. Hunter Biden is a freaking criminal now. He is hit, to me, he's hit that level. If you haven't heard this bizarre story, I'm going to tell it to you now. Now, a lot of this I got from Tim Pool, but there's also articles on Politico, New York Post. Sources: Secret Service inserted itself into the case of Hunter Biden's gun. Okay? Now, keep in mind the Hunter laptop, right? That was going on, that started prior to this, I believe, and then was going on during it. And we learned all about that. This was happening somewhere in between that, in between the time he dropped off the laptop and it got exposed and started to unravel. This happened in 2018. Okay? This was during Trump's presidency. All right? I think Biden was running 2018. I guess he was. Were they doing the primaries then, or what? Did that? I mean, it's the end of 2013, October. So he definitely probably made up his mind to run, and yeah, it had to be going on, right? Because of the primaries and stuff. Well, obviously this gets all shushed up. Now, if they didn't want Biden to run, the Democrats would have been all over this. Their media allies would have exploded. You would have heard about this on CNN nonstop. Well, let me break down the story for you as I understand it. So Hunter, being the wild man he is, for some reason, bought a gun. So he buys this gun. It's a 38, and he puts it in his trunk, or in his truck. Hailey Biden, widow to his brother, whom he's dating, goes into the truck one day, finds the gun. Now Hunter has had problems with drugs. He's going to a psychiatrist of some kind and getting therapy, and the therapist said he was sexually, according to the emails on his laptop, that he was sexually inappropriate with one of the Biden family minors. We don't know who that is. Talked to his uncle about it in text. I guess text or email. So he's got all these problems. He's the son of Joe Biden. He's arranging these meetings with Chinese figures to get big stacks for his father. He's paying everybody's bills. He's under tremendous amounts of pressure. So he's doing drugs. He's banging hookers. He's shacked up with Hailey, who's the widow of his brother. All this, and he buys a gun. So Hailey's first reaction, and as I started listening to the story, it was my reaction too. He's going to kill himself. And in my evaluation of Hunter, I think that's exactly what he was going to do. He was thinking about killing himself. I cannot imagine this guy is happy. I cannot imagine under any circumstances that he is happy. I think he's trapped. He's trapped in his freaking life. I think, like all people, he's trying to win the approval of his parents. And Joe Biden, and this, to me, and I agree with Rudy Giuliani, he says this too, this is Joe Biden's biggest failing. He is a terrible father. He is terrible. His son is, when you're a drug addict, You're trying to kill yourself. Trying to kill yourself. Slowly. You essentially are. And he was already a drug addict. He got kicked out of the Navy for it, apparently. Now, I had speculated that perhaps that was all I covered. And that's why he was at Burisma, because it was during the Biden administration, or during the Obama administration. Biden was, I couldn't imagine that Biden was that corrupt that he would put his own son in the middle of that just to make some money. Are you nuts? Apparently Biden doesn't care. Biden wants his stacks. And Hunter apparently organizes this and pays everybody's bills. He made allusions to it in his communications that were in the laptop. So Hailey finds the gun and thinks, oh God, he's going to kill himself. So I guess she panics and wraps the gun in a black plastic bag. For some reason, she's at the supermarket. I guess she must have discovered it in the truck while she was at the supermarket. Maybe she got out to get her, reusable shopping bags or whatever. And they're like, oh my God, there's a gun in here. Oh my God, he bought a gun. He's going to kill himself. So she wraps it in a plastic bag and throws it into a trash can or a dumpster behind or near the store. Now that is illegal. You can't do that. But I guess she's in a panic or whatever. So she goes into the store. At some point, I guess she changes her mind and she's freaking out and she tells the people in the store. So now they all go out. And you imagine working in the store one day. You're just minding your own business, stocking produce, and a woman comes here and she's all distraught. And you're like, lady, what the hell's wrong with you? And she goes, at first she's probably like, oh, nothing. And she's talking on her phone and texting in a panic. And no one's answering her call. And she doesn't know what to do. And then finally she's like, I put a gun in your trash can. So then apparently a bunch of the employees and her go back out to get the gun, and it's gone. So now you got a real problem on your hands, right? Because then you look across the street and there's a high school. So freaked out, they end up calling the police, and the police come to do an investigation. Hunter owns the gun, right? He bought it. When he went to the gun store to buy the gun, you're supposed to fill out certain facts. And one of them is something like, have you ever been addicted to drugs or something drug related? Well, he lied about that. See, Hunter actually got kicked out of the Navy for doing cocaine. And that's on his record. And it's illegal. It's a felony to lie about that to get a gun. It's also a felony, apparently, to throw out a gun in just a random trash can. So, Hailey and Hunter have now both committed felonies. Now the cops come. And Hunter somehow gets dragged down to the store. And they're questioning him about it. And he, of course, gets furious. Because why wouldn't he? He is the son of the vice president. How dare you talk to me? And they ask him about the gun, where it is, why he has it, blah, blah, blah. Wait, it gets better. He apparently gestures to two Mexican guys walking by, two employees, and says something like, why don't you ask them? They're probably illegal. So this is the kind of person Joe Biden created. Okay? Not just drug taking, drug addicted, hooker banging, cheating guy, also gun. Sounding a little bit racist. Which doesn't surprise me considering the stuff that came out of Joe Biden's mouth. But, wait, it gets better. The Secret Service shows up to the gun store where he purchased the gun, and they ask the owner for the paperwork on the gun. And the owner says, no, I'm not giving you that paperwork. Then they'll blame me for selling them the damn gun. I mean, there's a lot of penalties involved in that. Those gun store owners aren't messing around anymore. I can't imagine a gun store owner being like, oh, yeah, sure, no big deal. That's like everything they do, if they do it wrong, is probably going to be a felony, right? So they're like, no, we're not giving you that. Well, the Secret Service apparently had no business being there. They inserted themselves into the middle of this. They weren't even officially working for Biden at the time. It was 2018. He didn't have the protection anymore, which is weird because I thought the VP had protection after he left office for X amount of years or something. I know the president does. I'm surprised they just cut him off, right away. I mean, it had only been 2 years since he's been out of office. Granted, who's going after Biden, but somebody might. I mean, they might capture him and torture him or something and get something classified out of him. I didn't know that they cut you off that quickly on Secret Security, the Secret Service detail, but apparently they did. But, what are they really doing? Apparently, they're covering his A. So, I don't think they ever found the gun. Yeah. The Secret Service says it has no record of its agents investigating the incident, and Joe Biden was not under protection at the time, although said through a spokesperson had no knowledge of any Secret Service guys. Maybe because he was running for office, he doesn't get it. I don't know. The incident did not result in charges or arrest. Why? Well, because they're Bidens. Oh, you don't arrest the Bidens. Oh, and they did find the gun. Days later, the gun was returned by an older man who regularly rummages through the grocery store's trash to collect recyclable items, according to people familiar with the situation. So good. I mean, look, as a libertarian, I say no harm, no foul. However, I think something should be done about Hunter. He seems to be a danger to people. Okay? He's got a drug problem. He's banging hookers. Apparently, he's doing inappropriate things with minors, perhaps. He's an odd guy. And now a gun? It sounds to me like he hates himself. Armchair psychiatrist here. I'm fully admit it, but, this doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right on so many levels. Joe Biden is the biggest gun control advocate who's ever been president. And here he is, his own son, buying a gun and using it in the most irresponsible manner possible. Just throwing it in his truck and not even telling his girlfriend about it and losing it. And they don't arrest him. I guarantee you they would arrest you or me or anybody else who did what he did. It would have been like, oh, sir, this was incredibly irresponsible. You're going to have to go to court and explain yourself in front of the judge. Oh, but not the Bidens. Not the Bidens, apparently, because Delaware, I guess, belongs to them. Lord Biden, we should call them. Lord Biden and Prince Hunter. I mean, this reminds me of what happened in New Jersey with Governor Corzine. He got into a horrific car accident at 98 miles an hour. Oh, but I'm going to pay all the hospital bills, so it's okay. No. People go to jail for causing accidents at that speed. He should have been in jail. He should have been in court, forced to explain himself in front of a judge, at minimum. But rules for thee, but not for me. No, no, no. We're the Bidens. We get to do things. We have connections. I guess that's kind of the whole reason these people do what they do, why they hold on to power. Because apparently they're criminals. So the next time Giuliani refers to these guys as the Biden crime family, I say that's an appropriate description.